Hello, good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you are watching this webinar. Thank you for being here and for watching it. We're going to have a look at claircognizance in daily life. See what it means, what can you do about it, what is the biggest problem of it. But first I'd like to welcome you. Thank you for being here. If you have been here before, then welcome back. And if you are new here, welcome. And what we're going to do is we're going to first talk about the theme of claircognizance, what it is, and then we're going to do the 9 steps of the MIR-Method. In that way, we will enhance your claircognizance or make it a little bit less so that it doesn't hinder you too much. So whatever is necessary for you to go through life, that's what will happen. That's the nice thing about the MIR-Method. It will direct you in the direction that is best for you, for your mission or for your well-being. If you are a MIR-Method coach, then a very warm welcome and thank you for working with the people so that you can find out through muscle testing what is underneath all these complaints, what is going on, why is a person not claircognizant, why is it closed, what kind of emotional issues is underneath, and then you can help your client to get rid of it more very quickly. So thank you for working with the people and for guiding them when they have a rough road. I'm going to open the presentation. See, I didn't translate this into English. Oh, is that more? No, it's only this sheet. Okay. Claircognizance. What I would like to tell you is the first thing is you know things you couldn't know. You know things you couldn't possibly know. For example, a herb in the garden. Somebody says, oh, that herb is poisonous, but I don't know what the name is. And then all of a sudden you say, for example, belladonna. This is an example of my life. I said belladonna. I didn't even know what a herb called belladonna looks like. I knew there was a poisonous one that's called belladonna. And the lady said, yes, that's right, it's belladonna. We shouldn't have this in our vegetable garden. And I know belladonna has an ability to kill people. It's poisonous, but it is also, when you have the right substance, it's a healing for specific diseases. Same goes with arsenic. It can be a cure for people with a very specific kind of illness. But those things you need to study and need to know. But many people know things by nature, just because they know it. But the very, very specific indication that it's claircognizance is that you know things that you couldn't possibly know. You might know the answer to something. For example, my mother's cat was gone a couple of weeks ago, and she was a bit upset about it and had been gone for 2 days. And I phoned her and I said, why don't you check the shed of the neighbor? And the cat was closed in at the shed of the neighbor. So she found back the cat. It was quite hungry. But I knew it was there, although I couldn't have known it. And many times mothers have this when the keys are lost or when the child doesn't know where the sports gear is, then the mother always knows where it is. It's also common sense, of course. But very often women have this intuition. They know things that they couldn't possibly know. The second thing on the sheet, in Dutch it says razendsnel onmiddellijk weten. And in English it means that claircognizance comes very, very quickly. You know it in an instant, in a millisecond you know the answer. For example, children at school, at primary school, when they do arithmetic, then they are asked to solve this equation or solve this arithmetic problem. They know the answer instantly. They just know it. Boom. And then the teacher asks, how did you get that answer? And they go, I don't know. Because they are claircognizant. They know the answer straight away. They don't have to think about it. And many children have this at the moment. The younger generations, they have this so much. So these children are gifted. They know the answer straight away. They also know when mommy or daddy is lying. That's the fourth one on the sheet. I'll go to that one in a minute. The third one is, in Dutch it says, snelle inschatting vreemden. And it means that you very easily can value strangers. In an instant, you know if this new person you've met can be trusted or not. I can tell, for example, when a man treats his woman badly. I know that in an instant. I also know, this is a very strange example. I also know when I look in a man's eyes, I know if he's cheating on his wife or not. That's not very nice kind of knowledge, but I have been able to prove it through the work this person was making. So though that's also claircognizant. So sometimes you know things of people you shouldn't actually know, but you do, and you can't prove it. The fourth one on the sheet, it says waarheid, hier klopt iets niet. That's Dutch. And in English it says truth. Something doesn't add up. Something's wrong here. So claircognizant people know in an instant when somebody on television is telling the truth or not. So when somebody is lying on television, they know it in an instant. But also you have these whistleblowers. Very often they are scorned and are treated badly in media or on television, while in fact they are telling the truth. And when you are claircognizant, you know that this person is telling the truth, despite all the mockery. So it's very important to have this discernment, to use your claircognizance, your common sense also, that you know this person is genuine and authentically telling the truth. And the other one goes, the other one round, it goes the same, like when you know that people on television or in certain situations that they are in fact lying through their teeth. So you know in an instant they're lying. This isn't the truth, or this is half the truth. This is not right. It's just not right. So you know in an instant that it's wrong. The fifth one on this sheet, it says verantwoordelijkheid, and in English it says responsibility. It means that sometimes you know things, but you cannot handle, you cannot act upon it. So for example, if you know things about the school principal from his private life, maybe you know some things, just because you know it, you cannot tell anybody about it. So you have to take your responsibility. Somebody's private life is somebody's private life. Also, when somebody has issues, for example, very strong emotional issues, and you know it, you just know it, very often you cannot say anything about it unless this person opens up his or herself first. Because you're not allowed to go digging in somebody. They need to open up first. You can, however, say something. For example, if a woman has been sexually harassed and upset about it, and you know it because you can sort of get these vibes from her, or just know, or then you might start a conversation like, you know what, I heard this lady from like a week ago, and she was sexually harassed. She was so afraid to tell anybody about it that it was sort of blocking her. And then you might give a suggestion to this person to start talking about it. But it's not your responsibility to say, hey, I am claircognizant and I know that you have been sexually harassed. Would you like to talk about it? So that's not, no, that's not integer to do that. So you have to keep it for yourself, and you can gently invite a person to talk about it, but you need to be responsible and wise about it. Very often when you are claircognizant, you know things, the best thing to do is to be silent. Very often. That's my experience. In other cases, when there is injustice, you need to speak up, but you can only do it if you have some kind of proof or if people are willing to believe you. Because very often you know things, but you cannot tell it because you cannot support it, you cannot back it with evidence. So that's and then you will look as if you are making things up, and that will cost you your authority or your authenticity. So people will start to doubt you. That's a hard one too. So that's about claircognizance. There are a few biggest problems with claircognizance. I'm going to tell you. The first one is that people have unlearned claircognizance at school. So for example, when the teacher asks, okay, who knows what is autumn? And the child goes, that's grandma. And then the teacher goes, no, that's not grandma. What is autumn? But this child always in autumn goes to see grandma. So autumn is grandma for this child. So what we learn is that in kindergarten or in primary school, we have already been told that the answers we are giving are wrong. And that gives like a mark on us, and we feel like we are crazy because the answer is right for us, but the teacher says no, and the teacher knows best. So we learn, we close off the claircognizance. The same goes for family, fathers or mothers, when they say, where did you get that nonsense? Stop talking about that. When you make a remark about something you know all of a sudden. So these beautiful, the crown chakra, zeg maar, the top of your head, which is where the antennas are for the information, you close them off when you are told very often, no, it's not right what you're saying, you're talking nonsense. That's when it closes off. So many children have experienced this, and that's why so many children are no longer claircognizant. But it's still there, it's just closed off. The second biggest problem is that the people have learned to trust others more than themselves. So they give their power away to others because they are no longer able to trust themselves in what they know or what their insights are. And then when they get an insight that somebody else says, no, but the scientific evidence is such and such. Oh, then my intuition, my insight might be wrong. So many people are no longer trusting themselves, but they are trusting others more. That's a big problem. Too much information at once. This is when people might go into psychosis. That's at least my point of view. So when the crown chakra is really open and all this information comes in at once, that's a very big problem. And people are sometimes unable to handle that. There's a wonderful film called Crazy Wise. And in that film, you see this American boy who has had psychosis, and you see people in the East of the world, how they treat people who are in psychosis. And in those communities, the people with the psychosis are treated as very important people who are going through a very tough moment in life, a very tough period. They are fed, they are given drinks, they are being taken care of, as if they are very special and very vulnerable, but also as if they are very wise and very important for the community, which in fact is true, because in a psychosis, many people very often see through all that is on earth, and they sort of can connect all the dots, but it's so overwhelming that they cannot, in that moment, cannot function properly. But the wisdom that comes in them is very often very useful for the whole community. So in the East, like Asia, for example, Nepal, Tibet. These people know that it's so valuable to have a person with psychosis to go through it very gently, so that they afterwards can bring all this wisdom to the community. That's another way of dealing with it. So please go watch this film called Crazy Wise. Now there's another big problem with claircognizance, and that is that doubt is around the corner. So whenever you have an insight, you get this wisdom all of a sudden. Very, very short after that, you get this doubt. I had this insight, and oh, but who am I to talk about it? Is it genuine? What? I don't know if it's good. So all this doubt comes in, and the insight is almost gone. Now there's a wonderful Chinese proverb, and it says, you give birth to two sons. The first one is the son of the intuition, and the second one is the son of doubt. So first the intuition is born, and straight after that comes the doubt. And I always say, trust your intuition and embrace your doubts. So your intuition is good, your insights are good, your knowing is good, and then you go, my darling doubts, come here, let me cuddle you, thank you for being there, but I'm not going to listen to you, because my insights are very valuable. So trust your intuition and embrace your doubts. Now, how can the MIR-Method help you with this? First one is trust yourself. And that is done by step 7, for example, where you fulfill trust in yourself. And it's also done in step 3, where you wipe out the SEEs, the significant emotional events, the SEE, for example, that you've experienced with your father or your mother or another man or another woman. So by doing the MIR-Method, you will wipe out these things that made you distrust yourself. The second one, I already said, you delete the SEEs with step 3, but also in step 4 with the meridians. So every meridian has very many emotions, and when you do clear meridians, you clear out all these emotions. And that helps you to stand stronger. The third one is you will become your own authority with step 4 by clearing all these emotions. Self-doubt goes away, but also step 8 in the chakras. For example, the root chakra, the lowest chakra, when it's really strong, you will stand strong and you will be your own authority. The fourth one is step 9, and then you will give yourself the assignment through the MIR-Method to clarify mission regarding your claircognizance. And what can you do with it in real life? What you can do with it is when you have children you look after and they come in and you all of a sudden know that one of these children is having a problem. And because you're claircognizant, you can immediately spot that child and give it a little bit more attention. Take it aside, maybe ask a little bit of questions, or just look at the child and observe what might be going on. So that's very practical. You can also, when you are doing business, immediately see, it's knowing, immediately you know if you are going to do business with this person or not. So many successful business people are claircognizant. They see through people. They see immediately if somebody is proper or not, if they are trustworthy or not. So that's why they are very successful. There's another way is when you are watching television, for example, you can use the claircognizance to discern, to see if people are telling the truth on television, or if they are, how do you say, twisting the truth, so that it becomes, it's likely that it may be true, but something's off. So that's claircognizant, when you see through that and you know this isn't the whole truth. Very important. Sometimes a very big figure on television may give a certain message, and that may be really, really not true. But because it's a very important public figure, people might start believing this person. But when you are claircognizant, you will see through that. Okay, we're going to do the 9 steps, thinking about this claircognizance, wishing for us that it will be open and that we will be able to use it in our best interest and to our ability, but that it's not overwhelming, but that it's helpful for you to do your mission so that you can contribute to creating world peace, because that's also one of my agendas. Every person that I can help heal him or herself can contribute to bring forth a wonderful world of peace. So I like that idea very much. We're going to do the 9 steps. Please caress your hand very gently. Know that you are valuable, that you contribute to this wonderful world of peace that we are drawing near. And while you stroke yourself, you caress yourself, we'll start with step 1. Optimize acidity. Optimize acidity. Optimize acidity. Detox all toxicity. Detox all toxicity. Detox all toxicity. Detach Father. Detach Father. Detach Father. Detach Mother. Detach Mother. Detach Mother. Clear meridians. Clear meridians. Clear meridians. Supplement all shortages. Supplement all shortages. Supplement all shortages. Balance hormone system. Balance hormone system. Balance hormone system. Fulfill basic needs. Fulfill basic needs. Fulfill basic needs. Optimize chakras and aura. Optimize chakras and aura. Optimize chakras and aura. Clarify mission. Clarify mission. Clarify mission. Super. Yes, I'm always waiting a bit after the 9 steps in case people are still yawning or sighing. Yawning means letting go. Sighing means that you have some burden on your chest, in your heart that has gone off. So you release the burden on your heart. Sighing. And when you do a little burp, that's when something has been rounded off. So that's a very good one. Well, please let me know if you have noticed anything. Please tell me what kind of sensations you had, if you had maybe an insight. You don't have to feel anything physically, but maybe you knew something all of a sudden. Tell me how it inspired you. I'm very curious to know that. If you could write it on the website, please. It's here at the bottom you see MIR-Method.com/webinar-claircognizance. What a wonderful word, claircognizance. So if you could leave a comment there, that would be great. At the bottom of this sheet you see additional techniques course. That means that's a course that's on the MIR-Method, and there are very many very, very useful techniques in there. For example, a first aid technique, also a technique to get rid of the side effects of medication. Very important when you take medication or get new medication or maybe injections. You can help yourself get rid of the side effects. And there's also treating viruses and bacteria in there. And it's very important when you know how to do it, so how you learn, when you learn the technique, with viruses and bacteria, it's very important to treat yourself every hour. So it's every hour you do the treatment again. So I really would like you to study this, and when you have learned it, then you can pass it on to other people. The other one, deep understanding of the MIR-Method, is for people who are interested in how the MIR-Method works and what every step exactly means. For example, it's for when you have a practice, you can study it then. You can use the deep understanding of the MIR-Method. All right, enough commercials. Thank you for being here. I'm going to do another webinar in 2 weeks' time. I hope in the meantime that you feel better and better, that you feel healthy and energetic, and that your claircognizance will be better and better also. So pay attention to that one, because that will be great if that will develop, our envelope will open up more and more. And I hope you can use it to your benefit. Have a great night, great day ahead of you, or a great afternoon, depending on what time it is with you. And I hope to see you again within 2 weeks' time. Until then, bye-bye-bye.